Hey fishers, I've said it 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, but we're in heaven here. Look at this river. Murrumbidgee River, absolutely perfect. Great height, clear as a bell, flowing fantastic. Look, the fishing's just amazing at the moment. It's pretty well fishing well most of the time. The only time it doesn't if we get heavy, super heavy rains and have floods. At the moment, thankfully we haven't. A little bit more rain wouldn't hurt, but the fish are just going, biting the heads off, I can tell you now. Bait or lure. A lot of good cod getting caught on lures, quite a few good yellowbelly too. Trolling, casting, doesn't seem to matter. Spinner baits, hard bodies, surface lures. You take your pick, it doesn't really matter a great deal. It is just brilliant. Old Man Creek's doing all right, getting a few out of there, early morning, late afternoon. Inconsistent in height, but they're popping a few surface lures around there and throwing a few spinner baits and doing reasonably well. We're still getting some pretty respectable reports from Mulwala. Don't forget they're going to lower, they're lowering the level as we speak, but they're going to get it quite low in the next week or two. And it could be interesting, it could be good fishing, it may not be. Yeah, it's a matter of being there, having a look at it. At the moment it's fantastic, there's getting a lot of cod out of it. Trolling spinnerbait seems to be more consistent than anything else, getting some very, very good catches. Hume Weir, I've got a few mixed reports from there, still getting some redfin, quite small reddies, still getting some reasonable yellowbelly around the timber. The old slow roll and the black plastic seem to be good. The Lunker City paddletail seems to be out fishing the Berkeley Gulp 3-inch grub at the moment. It seems to be doing exceptionally well. Throw a bit of sack scent on it, drop it down beside the tree, roll it up very slowly just to get the tail moving. And yeah, great catches out of there, I can assure you, if you put in the time and the effort, but you're going to have to work hard in the Hume Weir. Blowering Dam, oh, real hit and miss. Off the bank with bait, getting the odd few, trolling, getting the odd few. It's not firing, not cracking along nicely, but it's still fishing okay. I did mention it last week, but there's some redfin getting caught down about 50 to 60 feet, and there's a few cod and yellowbelly hanging in around the reddies feeding on them. Quite deep for those fish, but they are feeding on them, so that's an indicator of drop a little yabby down, bob it around in amongst the reddies, you'll probably pick up a cod, a yellow or a redfin, so you've got some good options there. Some of the big fish are starting to move now. Trolling seems to be okay for those, but you'll also start getting a few on soft plastics and swim baits in the next month or so. Looks like it's going to be a promising winter at Blowering by the looks of things. Still getting good reports from Tantangra. Very, very happy with it. You get the odd quiet day, the odd day that fires up, and some in-betweens, but it's certainly the most consistent dam up in the Snowy at the moment. Some very good trout coming out of it. Fast troll seems to be the go. Try the blades, the Yakimeto slim minnows seem to be doing exceptionally well. Even go for the bigger lures. You might be surprised what you'll come up with there, fishing off the bank with scrubworms. Don't forget, if you're going to Tantangra, throw in a load of wood to get a fire going, because there's nothing up there to burn, so just keep that one in mind if you want to camp up there, that is. Eucabean isn't too bad, a little bit of activity out of there. We're getting some very nice trout out of it, and it seems to be more consistent in some areas, but you've got to put in the time there as well. It's not as good as Tantangra. Jindabyne seems to be firing up a little bit, so some good results there. Burrinjuck, ooh, mediocre, not a great deal of activity, not as much as we'd like. They're catching fish, few cod, the odd yellow, occasional small redfin, but look, it's certainly not firing. If I was going somewhere at the moment, seriously, I would go to Wangler Dam. Some very good quality cod coming out of there. Trolling the 2.5 ounce fish food spinnerbait seems to be one of the most consistent methods. Colour-wise, bright oranges, greens, anything like that'll cover it. Seems to be better than the darker colours at the moment. That's an indicator the dam's reasonably clear. So a fair bit of action up there, getting some nice yellowbelly. Casting purple spinnerbait seems to be pretty good up there as well. So some pretty consistent catches. Whether you're up the Abercrombie, Lachlan or in the main basin, some reasonable activity there. So as you can see, we have got a fair bit of action around us. This is the Compleat Angler Fishing Report for this week, and I'll catch you on the Murrumbidgee River one day soon. See you later.